2. Is this real?
Is this real?
Dio asked. I'm not sure, replied Loic.
What do you think, Mum?
Tanya said.
Of course not. How could this be real? It's a hoax.
They're probably just some nerds that learned how to hack TV stations. Are you going to take this test? Asked Loic.
Me? Take the test?
Crystal laughed.
I'm not taking any such kind of test. I have better things to worry about.
You heard the man say what happens if you don't take it, right? Said Loic.
What man? A man with no name. A man doing tricks of fire and water with his hands. Please.
He said if you don't take it, you automatically go to Sheol, Loic said, concerned.
You believe such rubbish? Are you a child or what? I'd be expecting the children to get excited over this, not you.
Loic frowned. Look, whether this is real or not, it's better to take the test than go somewhere by default. Sitting on the fence won't help you. If you took it, what would you say?
That I believe in God, obviously. This is the devil's trick. The devil thinks he's smart, but he cannot deceive me. Coming on the TV the day before Halloween, of all days, and asking us to deny God. I'm not that gullible.
You're saying what you've been programmed to think.
You're not actually thinking this through, explained Loic. And what about you? You're going from nonsense to devil tricks in the space of 1 minute. You're the one who needs to think.
Loic leaned back on the sofa and took a deep breath. Getting through to his wife was not going to be an easy task. He looked at his 2 children who were on the floor watching TV. I'm going to go outside and see if anything's going on. Loic put on his slippers, grabbed his keys, and stepped outside. He saw a few of the neighbors outside talking about this. The house on the left was owned by Jim Robinson, who he didn't like. He was dirty, grumpy, and never smiled. He got on with Alex and Gabrielle, a Zimbabwean couple who lived a few doors further down. They would often have dinner at each other's houses. Alex was on the front lawn smoking and playing with his phone.
Did you see it?
Loic asked Alex. Alex immediately laughed.
What? That mad guy talking about the test?
Yeah, I saw it.
What do you think?
Well, good luck to the guy. At least he's more creative than the Bible bashers out shouting on the road. Fair play to him.
What are you gonna choose? Loic asked.
I'm denying God. You know I'm not religious anyway, and if I go to Zion, then fucking great.
What about Gabrielle?
She doesn't know yet.
Is she in?
Yeah. They went inside and Loic saw Gabrielle in the kitchen preparing dinner.
Hi, Gabrielle.
They hugged each other and Gabrielle got back to cooking.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I wanted to ask your opinion on the test.
Go on.
What's your decision?
Well, there's no guarantee we actually have to take it, 'cause some guy on a camera says so.
But if you had to take it, what would you decide?
Well, if I had to take it, of course, I believe in God.
Come on, Gabrielle.
You're a doctor. You're supposed to be clever. You studied medicine, science for 6 years. And you're telling me you believe in God? Yeah. This test is no different to 20 of the richest people in the world doing exactly what this guy's doing. Building a super city and inviting you to live in it, based on their terms and conditions. And we both know they could. Would you sacrifice all that for a belief? I prefer to store treasures in heaven, where it cannot be corrupted.
Matthew 6:20, Loic muttered.
Brap! Remarked Alex. So, you know the Bible, and you're still following this man? Hey way! Gabrielle remarked as she slapped her thigh. All these nice things this man is promising you might be good now, but this is about eternity, and I want to be with God.
Okay, whatever. Do you believe in the ascended beings the guy spoke about?
I don't care for such things.
Loic grumbled. He looked down at the floor, knowing there was no way he could get through to her. Well, Alex said he will deny God, so you know what that means, right?
Yeah, Alex said, walking into the room at the perfect time. It means I'm gonna go dance with the devil. Alex said, laughing. You men are not serious, said Gabrielle, unimpressed. A loud noise came from outside. Is that a helicopter? Said Alex. Sounds like it, said Loic. Let's go outside, said Gabrielle, taking a piece of plantain with her. Loic and Alex went out into the garden. Gabrielle put on her shoes and accompanied them outside. There was a helicopter hovering 100 meters above the air. It was dropping leaflets and started to move slowly, spreading more leaflets around the streets. Some leaflets had dropped into the garden. They each picked one up and began reading. The title, The Capability Test, appeared in bold black writing on the cover. This leaflet is to inform you of the capability test clip that appeared on TV and other forms of media today. This is a test that is being carried out by the ascended beings in order to divide humanity into those that want to advance and those that do not. Each of you has a right and an obligation to choose. History has shown us repeatedly that both groups living side by side produces unfavorable results, and this cannot continue. Okay, guys, thanks for sharing that with me, Loic said. I'm gonna head home now. We made fufu and palm nut soup. You could stay for dinner, said Gabrielle. Any other day, yes, but I've got a lot of work to do, said Loic. Okay, bye, said Alex and Gabrielle. Bye, Loic said. Loic left the house and began to walk home. He's really taking that test seriously, isn't he? Alex said to Gabrielle. He's gonna go home and try to convince Crystal to say no, Gabrielle said, laughing. I was thinking the same thing. Alex turned to Gabrielle and they both burst out in laughter. You were joking about saying no, right? Of course, I just wanted to play with him, explained Alex. They went inside to enjoy their meal while Loic made his way home to his family. The streets were now becoming full and lots more people had come out. Scores of leaflets piled up on the streets and other helicopters were visible in the distance. The same helicopter he had seen in Alex's garden, number 651, was now 100 meters further going towards the town center. Loic followed in that direction. People were involved in huge debates. Loic saw a large crowd outside the local community center and walked up to them trying to see what was going on. As he got closer, he saw two guys involved in a debate. One was white with dreadlocks and short stubble called Mark. The other was Justin, a 20-something black guy with a short haircut and muscular physique. So how did we get here? Asked Mark. We were created by God, said Justin reassuringly. That's too simple. Come on, it's child's play. If you've done any kind of research on the subject, you wouldn't be saying that. That's what religion does to you. Forces you to be ignorant. The Bible says God created us, formed us from the dust of the ground, gave us breath of life, and made us in His image. You say what's in the Bible, but you don't know what's really going on. I can explain it to you, but what will be the point? It's better than your explanation, said Justin. You need to look at the first forms of life, single-celled organisms called protozoa, amoeba that fungi and bacteria come from. They have the ability of asexual reproduction and can split into two separate cells or animals. Over millions of years, these animals multiplied, diversified, and evolved into many complex types of creatures and animal life, one of which was humans. Who created the cells? Nature! What? Asked Justin. When atoms were in the presence of sunlight, the energy from the sunlight forced the atoms into more complicated combinations until small cells formed. Who created them? No one! They were already here! You know your stuff, another crowd member said. Because I care. I want to know, so I read.
You can tell people like him don't read anything because his mind is stuck in the Bible.
Science can't explain everything. We're humans. We can't know everything. Sometimes you just have to believe, said Justin.
The debate raged on. Loic was with the scientists. He had read a lot of books and had a deeper understanding of things than most people. He hadn't believed in God since he was a teenager. Growing up in a Christian family, that was his default religion, but when he was old enough to think for himself, he rejected it. His idea was, if there was a God, he should show himself. Why expect the entire world to believe in you when you could show yourself in an instant? Was that too much to ask for? Plus, he had looked into stories from ancient civilizations and could see how they were plagiarized into modern-day religions. He could feel himself getting riled up to step in and join the debate, but for now, he just wanted to observe. Religious debates have a tendency of going on forever, and with the complication of the mystery man, this one wouldn't be ending anytime soon, so he decided to go back home and try to make sense of it all. The house was quiet. He thought the kids would have been watching TV, but the sitting room was empty. He walked into the kitchen. Again, it was empty. He looked into the garden, but they weren't there either. He took one of the kids' cookies from the cupboard and made his way up the stairs. He opened the door to his bedroom and saw Crystal spread on the bed. She was laid on her side facing him, wearing red and black lingerie and a witch's hat on her head.
Hi, baby. Happy early Halloween.
Loic took a big bite into the cookie. His eyes widened with excitement as the sugar gave him a rush of energy.
Crystal, you're dressed up as a witch, he said, laughing.
You like?
Hell yeah!
Loic stood by the side of the bed, gazing at her dark chocolate skin.
So, you're just going to stand there eating your cookie without giving me some?
Said Crystal with a finger in her mouth and one hand on her groin. Loic took the cookie out of his mouth, took his shirt off, and went to feed the rest of it to his wife. She looked amazing. This was the last thing he expected Crystal to do, especially since she was so into her Christianity. But it was a great surprise. She had never really been that freaky, but it was welcomed. She took a bite of the brown chocolate chip cookie as her red lipstick engulfed it with her luscious lips. Her eyes fixed on Loic's as she moaned to enjoy the sweet sensation. She called Loic over to the bed and put the rest of the cookie into his mouth, one half inside, the other half hanging outside. Then she leaned in to kiss him, biting the other half of the cookie and letting it soften in her mouth.
Where are the... Loic tried to ask.
They've gone to play games, she whispered slowly into his ear. She kissed him on the lips, slowly, then the neck, chest, and went further down into the center of his body to his stomach, navel, and began sucking him off. He ripped the rest of her clothes off, making sure her hat stayed on, and they spent that afternoon having hot, steamy sex. It was like her witch costume had turned her into something different. Her bedroom game was nice, and little things like that kept it exciting. She rode him like a cowgirl front and back, coming 4 times. Finally, he came, and they gazed into each other's eyes, gasping for air as their bodies and souls were intertwined in a harmonious whirlpool of love. Crystal went downstairs and brought them up a stir-fry she had already prepared, and some wine as they listened to gospel music playing in the background, with the TV on silent. They spent the night chillaxing and having more sex. It was early in the night when they were about to drift off to sleep. As they were spooning, Loic grabbed Crystal by the side and rolled her to face him. He held her by the hair, bringing up his body slightly.
Babe, I know we have different views on religion, but I really need you to trust me on this. I want you to say you deny God. Look, Loic, we agreed that we loved each other, and the only way we would make this relationship work was to practice our own beliefs. You're conscious and I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, Loik. That is who I am. That's what I believe in, and nothing will ever take me from that.
Those firm and honest words struck a chord in his chest as he breathed deeply.
I know you are. Remember that time when we were going to buy that house in Greenwich? I had a bad feeling about it. I could feel it. Both our signatures were needed to sign the papers. And you convinced me so hard to take it. I knew there was something wrong. 3 months later, there was a gas explosion. The couple that moved in died, including 7 other people on that road, and 4 more were taken to the hospital for serious injuries. The wife was 8 months pregnant, babe. I don't know how, but I'm really good at sensing things. If you deny God with me, I promise you our family will be happy for the rest of eternity. You were right. I give you that. So why not believe me on this? Please. No.
Loik went to touch her, and she pushed his hand away.
No, I'm not doing it. Leave me alone, she shouted. I don't want to talk about this anymore. You can go to sleep in the parlor if you're not happy.
Loik looked into her eyes and saw she was serious. She was going to accept God, and there was nothing he could do or say. It was her free will to choose after all.
It's fine. I'll sleep here.
Loik drifted off to sleep, wondering how tomorrow's events would play out.